Well, I wanted to share with you the time-lapse version of one of the illustrations that I did for the book called Grandma's Music Box. This is written by Annette Shanks and Jeffrey P. Shanks. Jeffrey is the pastor at St. John Lutheran Church, and Annette is his wife, and the two of them are marvelous teachers. They enable me, a non-biblical scholar, to understand a lot about the Bible that I've never really understood for many years, all my life. And listening to them teach is an eye-opener and a faith improver or faith strengthener. So Annette had told a story about Grandma's music box one time. She told the story in church, and it captured my attention because, hey, I'm a kid at heart, and I love hearing stories about real people and real things and real ways in which God has played a role in people's lives. I've often said that I love biographies, and there are two kinds of biographies: those that claim that the person being written about did everything on his or her own, and those who give God credit for many of the things, if not everything, that has happened in their lives. So this was a story that I really loved, but I never really said anything about it. I just listened and went on my way. And then one day, I guess one of them, Jeffrey or Annette, must have asked Robin if I could illustrate the book for them. They knew that I was an artist, and they knew that I had done illustrations for children's books before. I've illustrated Robin's books and some of my own. But I wanted to do this one. So this is the illustration of Grandma holding the music box. This illustration ended up being the cover of the book, Grandma's Music Box. And this is time-lapsed, obviously, and the entire length of time it took me to do this, I'm going to say, was 6 hours, maybe even 8 hours. I'm not really sure. Well, you can see as I'm doing the sketching, trying to figure out how I want this to look, I went through a couple of different ideas in order to develop Grandma. For those interested in the art part, I did this on an iPad. It is a digital painting, but it is done by hand, and the beauty of having a digital art. This could be done on Photoshop, but in this case it's done on Procreate. The beauty of it is I can change things quicker than if I had done it on paper or on a canvas. And so at this point, I'm adding the color. I chose to use a pastel look for the entire book, and I wanted this particular picture to have warm and cool light both. I wanted the cool light to be coming from the window behind Grandma, and I wanted the warm light to be coming from inside the house. So that's why you see the cool light coming from the window, and I don't think I have it in there yet, but this warm light coming from the right side of the picture, which is her left shoulder and her left side of her face and hair. The look on Grandma, as I mentioned, was changed a few times, and I just liked the way this one looked. And Jeffrey and Annette, we had a different cover, and at one point Jeffrey and Annette thought that this would be a better cover, and I agreed. In fact, I originally thought this could be the cover, but we ended up with this cover. Yeah, so we abandoned an earlier cover. But it was a real joy to work on this. I was reluctant to share any of the art from the book. We started this in February. It's now almost July. It's the end of June. I was reluctant to share any of it because it's their book. I didn't want to jumped the gun, but the book is ready to be released probably this week. Jeffrey and Annette are just about ready to do the final things that they need to do. And so I wanted to tell you about it. I wanted to thank them for including me on in their project. Those blue lines, by the way, are my guidelines for the publishing purposes. That wasn't part of the picture, just so you know. Yeah, that's so you know the parts that might get cut off in the printing process. So there you go. Let me show you this right here. There's the full cover. It's a little cut off because of the formatting, and there's Jeffrey and Anette. And we use that picture for the back of the book, which is right here. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Jeff.